Thank you for staying. I have had 10 minutes of, delay on there again. Um, so, guess who will be calling to speak to their internet provider again? Anyways, let's get this going. All right, so for all my first time leaders, I know you just got promoted. So, why does asking for help suddenly feel like you're admitting you can't do your job? So instead, what you have became is the I got it leader. Short staffed, I got it. Team problem, I got it. Your manager hands you something that probably wasn't yours to begin with. Somehow you got that too. And nobody thinks, or I should actually say everybody probably thinks that you're out there just killing it right now. While you end up sitting in the break room during your lunch, hoping that nobody calls your name for the next 30 minutes. If your leadership strategy stays, I got it, eventually you will. I mean, I'm talking about all of it. Hey, 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 road trippers. Welcome back to another weekly pit stop with Coach C. You already know I am your human GPS here. And let me tell y'all something that almost wasn't going to happen today, even right now, with all these technical difficulties and stuff. Because for real, we didn't have the pit stop last week. So I already knew I wanted to get back in the car with y'all today. But when today got here, baby, I didn't have it. I didn't have it at all. Like, I had a couple meetings this morning, had a great lunch meetup. But after I got home and after working all week, my energy was, or it is, very low right now. And I was tired until I got this cup of coffee, which now means I'm gonna be up for a minute. And I kept thinking, I don't feel like going live today. But when that voice started, Candace, you missed last week. You said you were gonna be consistent. You need to show up. You need to push through. You need to. And I caught myself. Wait a minute, girl. I'm doing the exact same thing I talk to leaders about. I'm telling myself that because I'm responsible for something, I have to keep pushing regardless of what my dashboard is telling me. And that's when I realized this is going to be today's pit stop, which is why I just posted it maybe 30 minutes ago. So, some of us, we have been the strong one before we even became a leader. If that's you, go ahead and put that in the chat if that's you. If you are catching this recap, still put it in the chat. I want to see it. Some of us have been the strong one before we were ever leaders. You were already dependable. You were already the one everybody called. You were already the one who figured stuff out. So when you finally got the title, you brought that same identity into leadership. I got it. And for my black and brown first time leaders, sometimes there's another layer to that we don't necessarily always talk about because everybody doesn't always feel like they get the same amount of room to be new. Let me say that again. Because everybody doesn't always feel like they get the same amount of room to be new. Sometimes you're not just thinking, I want to do a good job. You're thinking, I can't give anybody a reason to think I wasn't ready. So you don't ask the question. What do you end up doing? You figure it out. You don't ask for help. You figure it out. You don't say, I don't know. What you do? You Google it, ChatGPT it, or ChatGPT it, Claude it, whatever it is. You call your bestie. Like, how many of us is out here calling our work bestie during the day? Hey, girl, or send a message. Hey, you got time? What's your calendar looking like? Have them put a meeting on there so we can just talk. Like, you call them, you send them a message, you text them, you do all of those things and figure it out. But somewhere along the way, we stopped learning leadership and we actually started proving leadership. Because learning and proving is two different things. Proving will wear you out. You hear me? It is going to wear you out when you're constantly having to prove who you are. Here's what's funny about becoming the I got it leader. People believe you. A show of hands, put it in the chat, hit that show of hand, drop that show of hand emoji, that hand emoji. People really believe you. People believe you when you become the I got it leader. You keep saying you got it. And they're like, oh, okay, here you go. Oh, another assignment, here you go. Another problem, here you go. Another responsibility, oh, here you go. Another thing that wasn't yours. If your answer to everything at work is, I got it, eventually everything is exactly what you're going to have. The assignment, the problem, the stress, and the burnout. How many of y'all are burnt out right now? Go ahead and drop that in the chat for me. If you just drop burnt out. Burnt out. So here's a sentence I need you to remember, and I need you to maybe jot it down or whatever. Being able to carry it doesn't mean it belongs to you. Like I said earlier, a lot of us grew up being the strong one. Some of us, a lot of times, I see it as I have more conversations with the person who's the firstborn. You feel like you gotta be the most responsible one because that was like something that was put onto you. That responsibility was put onto you, or that title, or that those responsibilities were put onto you. Whatever the case is. Again, being able to carry it doesn't mean it belongs to you. Now, don't leave here saying, Coach C told me not to work hard. No, ma'am, that is not what I am saying. I am not saying that at all. I'm saying leadership isn't proving how much you can carry. Leadership is knowing what needs to be carried and who needs to carry it. Because if you personally answer every question, fix every problem, take every assignment, and jump into every time somebody struggles, your team eventually learns, if I wait long enough, my leader will do it. Like I said earlier, I had a great lunch meetup, and this is actually what I was talking about is how I'm just gonna put out there when it comes to my Gen Z team members, because I'm still in this with y'all. So I'm not saying anything that I'm not walking through as well. However, I got wisdom behind me. But I was sitting there telling her, and I was like, yeah, whenever my team, like if there's an issue when it comes to conflict, particularly what we were talking about, avoiding conflict, I said, when it comes to dealing with a customer regarding conflict, it is very uncomfortable for them. So a lot of times my Gen Z team members will come over to me asking me for basically stuff that they already know and the answer to it, but they come to me to ask so they can go back and say, oh, well, my boss said, blah, 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 blase, blah, whatever. And so I always sit there and say, well, what do you think the answer is? What does our policy say? All right, so go tell them that. But don't say, my manager said, because they will constantly do that. They will constantly sit there because for them, that makes them feel like the customer is going to listen because now they've checked in with the manager to get the answer versus owning it and just saying what it is with confidence and authority. So, as I said, your team is going to eventually learn if I wait long enough, my leader will do it. Oh, now we're tired. We've trained everybody to bring everything to us. Nah, that cannot be your whole strategy as a leader, especially as a first time leader. So let me give you something that you can actually take to work tomorrow. I know tomorrow's Friday, but you can actually take this to work tomorrow. And just think about this for the next 7 days because we're going to be meeting next week with no issues. For the next 7 days, I want you to retire "I got it" as your automatic answer. Not forever, just for the next 7 days. Somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, can you take care of this?" Don't automatically say yes. And don't you automatically say no. Instead, say, "Let me check what I have on my plate and get back to you." Actually, get back to them. But when you say, "Hey, let me check on my plate to see what I have," what you're saying is, "I need to check my capacity and I'll let you know." That's it. Because listen to me, some of y'all aren't overwhelmed because you can't manage your workload. You're overwhelmed because you keep accepting new work before checking the work you already have. That's different. You're making commitments faster than you're checking your capacity. So take the 5 minutes, take the 30 minutes, take the hour. Look at what you're already responsible for and do what I call gas gauge check. So, what that is you're asking yourself three things. The first one, does this need me? Don't ask, can I do it? Because yes, you probably can. I need you to ask yourself, does this actually need me? So there's a difference between me saying, can I do it? Because your automatic answer, if you know that you can, if you have the skill set to do it, your automatic answer that you're going to do is going to be say, you're going to say yes. But when you rephrase that question and you say, hey, does this actually need me? Does it need my authority? Does it need my decision? Does it need my expertise? If not, why am I automatically taking it on? That's the first question I want you to ask yourself. The next check that I want you to ask is, does this need to happen now? Everything urgent ain't important. And sometimes it ain't even urgent. Let's be real. Sometimes what people bring to us, it ain't even urgent. Like, it's not urgent. I remember I had a team member kept calling and was like, hey, Candace, Candace. And I was on lunch, but I could hear it. And they finally get another member of leadership. And they're calling, and and I hear them on a different account, and I'm listening to them. And basically, the person is calling to say, hey, so and so missed their break, and I was just trying to check if I should have this person do it. Is that urgent? Is that a reason for me to get involved? I knew exactly who it was asking that because they're you know they're they are my steady eddies that came in. That's what they do, steady eddies. And so sometimes, like I said, it ain't even urgent. Somebody else just wants it right now. Somebody else just wants it right now. You don't have to create an emergency in your body because somebody created one in their email. I want to say that again. You don't have to create an emergency in your body because somebody created one in their email. Simply ask them, what actually happens if this waits until tomorrow? If the answer is nothing, girl, tomorrow is still on the calendar. Tomorrow may be Tuesday. Tomorrow may be Wednesday. Tomorrow may be Thursday. Tomorrow may be Friday. Whatever. Tomorrow is still on the calendar. Last check that I want you to ask yourself is, who else can carry this? And this is my favorite one. Who else could own this? My I'll just do it myself leaders. I don't really know what you're thinking. But Coach C, I can do it faster. I already know what you're thinking. And y'all know, anytime y'all have asked a question, if somebody's not doing it the way that you want it to be done, you put it, I'll just do it myself. And that's probably how you're in a relationship, but hey, that's a different topic. You could probably do it faster. I'm not taking it away from you. But hear me when I say this. Your team can't learn how to drive if you keep snatching the steering wheel. Different doesn't automatically mean wrong. Let them learn. Let them come back with questions. Let them own something. That's part of leadership too. And after you checked your gas gauge, then respond yes, no, tomorrow, or here's what I like to take this. That's it. Road tripper, do you hear me? A pause isn't incompetence. A pause is you leading before you commit. You don't have to prove you're capable by giving everybody an immediate yes. And you definitely don't need 3 paragraphs, 2 witnesses, a PowerPoint, exhibit A explaining why you can't take something on. No, you don't need all of that. You don't need, like I said, those 3 paragraphs basically saying no at the end of the day. A lot of us like to fluff. When we don't want to be direct, when we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, we like to add the extra words and stuff, and it turns into your own novel. And you're listen, you do not need all of that to explain why you are saying no. Sometimes I don't have the capacity to take that on right now. That's enough. Sometimes that is enough. So that's your challenge for the next 7 days. Catch the automatic I got it that you keep saying before you say it. Check your gas gauge. Does it need me? Does it need to happen now? Who else can carry it? And then make the leadership decision. That's it. One pause, one decision, one less thing you automatically throw in your back seat. Because that's exactly what we need to do. We have to stop taking on too much stuff that gets us having us burnt out. Even like today, I was like, I don't have the capacity to do nothing else outside of hopping on here. And even this is me showing up. This is actually me showing up for me right now. I know I'm showing up for y'all on a weekly cadence, but hey, this is me showing up for me right now. And I'm going to end right here. Remember what I told y'all. This live almost didn't happen. My tank wasn't full today. It wasn't even halfway. It was at a 3/4 almost empty, if I'm being real with y'all. And because I missed last week, a part of me thought I needed to come in here and overcompensate, give y'all more, stay longer, push through. And then I'll be teaching you one thing and doing the exact opposite. So today I showed up with what I had, and what I had was enough for today's drive. Okay? Roadtripper, you don't have to ride your tank on E just to prove you deserve your keys. Okay? You don't have to know everything because somebody gave you the title. And you don't have to carry everything just because you're capable of carrying it. So before you pull off, check your mirrors. What are you leaving behind? Check your dashboard. What is your leadership trying to tell you? And check your GPS. Where do you need to go next? You don't need to carry, you don't even need enough gas for the whole journey. You just need enough to make it to the next turn. You hear me? You don't need enough gas in your whole journey. You just need enough to make it to your next turn. So keep your hands on the wheel. Give yourself permission to reroute. And road tripper, keep driving. I'm Coach C, and that's what people know around here. Again, this is just a weekly pit stop where I'm having it with you, where we are just discussing whatever it is. So I know I did a lot of talking today, but anytime you all got questions, just drop it in the chat. And even if you're catching the replay right now, you can drop those questions in there. And guess what? Your coach, your human GPS is still going to answer it because I understand what it felt like to be in your seat. Now I get to be in your passenger seat. All right, because like I say all the time, when there are no gaps, there are no limits. It's just leadership our way. Until next week.